Welcome to The Explainer. In this world that's just constantly pulling at us, do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions? Well, today we're going to dig into some really powerful ideas. 5 practical keys for building a life that's not just busy, but actually meaningful.
I mean, this is the big one, right? How can we live a more meaningful life in such a complex world? It's so easy to feel like we're just reacting to everything instead of, truly living. So let's break it down. We're going to look at 5 keys that can help us take back control and build a life that feels, well, authentic.
All right, so where do we even begin? Key number 1 is all about mastering the one thing we can never, ever get back: our attention. It's funny, we talk a lot about time, but really, it's where we choose to focus that attention that truly shapes our lives. So here's a way to think about it. Are you consuming your time or are you investing it? Consuming is that reactive stuff, right? Just getting lost in endless social media feeds, bouncing from one notification to the next. It just eats up the present moment. But investing, that's proactive. That's about putting your focus into things that are actually going to build your future, like deep, focused work on your most important goals. Okay, so how do we actually invest our time? Well, there's this simple but really powerful practice called first things first. It's pretty straightforward. At the start of your day, just identify your top 3 and only 3 most important tasks. Not a giant to-do list, just 3. Then you got to protect your peak energy hours to work on those things, and only those things. And yeah, that means getting really comfortable with saying no to all the other distractions that pop up. Now, what's cool is, once you start protecting that focus, this amazing opportunity opens up. And that brings us to key number 2, the joy of growth. We're talking about reinvesting that attention you've saved into, well, growing. And listen, this is not about going back to school or anything. It's about cultivating a real, lifelong sense of curiosity. I just love this idea. Learning should be a way of life, not a burden. It just completely reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? It's not about passing a test or getting some fancy certificate. It's about the genuine pleasure of discovering something new, about the world, and hey, about yourself, too. It's really just about keeping your mind sharp and ready for anything. And the best part? This doesn't have to be some huge commitment. You can weave this into your life in small, totally manageable ways. Maybe it's just 10 minutes a day trying a new skill, or, swapping out your usual music for a really interesting podcast on your way to work. The point is, the biggest roadblocks aren't our age or how busy we are. It's the stories we tell ourselves about why we can't do it. Okay, this next one is a huge turning point. We're managing our attention, we're growing our minds, but what's it all for? Key number 3 is about defining your own success. This is where we really start to rewrite the script. Let's be real, society hands us a very specific script for what success looks like, right? It's always about the external stuff: high salary, fancy house, a certain kind of car. But what we're looking at here is a challenge to look inward. What if success was measured by, I don't know, the quality of time you spend with your family, or the pure joy you get from a hobby, or the contribution you make in your community? Chasing that outside standard can feel so empty, but lining up with your inner standard, now that's where you find real fulfillment. So really take a moment and sit with this question. Forget what everyone else expects for a second. What truly, genuinely gets you fired up? What makes you feel alive? Because once you can answer that, you stop living someone else's life and you start writing your own story. And you know what's interesting? Once you start defining success on your own terms, you often realize it's way less about what you have and way more about who you have with you. And that brings us perfectly to our 4th key: nurture true friendship. So what exactly is a true friend? It's more than just a name in your contacts or someone who's there for the good times, right? A true friend is the person who shows up when you're at your absolute lowest, who's there for you without even being asked. That kind of connection, man, that is a priceless treasure. But here's the thing, friendships like that don't just happen. You have to nurture them like a garden. It's an active thing. It means checking in just because, not just when you need a favor. It means putting your phone away and actually truly listening. At the end of the day, it's about valuing one real, deep conversation way more than 1,000 meaningless likes on a screen. All right, so we've gone from the personal to the interpersonal. Now for our final key, we're going to zoom out even further. Key number 5 is about our shared future. It's about seeing our part in a much, much bigger story, the story of our planet. When you boil it all down, the simple, powerful truth is this: We only have one home. And this isn't somebody else's problem to figure out. It's a responsibility that lands on every single one of us. And look, I get it. When you think about a problem this huge, it's so easy to feel completely overwhelmed, right? You start to think, what can I possibly do? My little actions are just a drop in the ocean. They can't possibly make a difference. But here's what we have to remember. A single drop does create a ripple. And when that one small conscious choice you make joins up with millions of other people making that same choice, suddenly, that ripple becomes a wave. A huge wave of change. It's this incredible idea that our small, seemingly insignificant choices, when you add them all up, are the very things that shape the future for all of us. And we're not talking about some massive, life-altering changes here. It's the simple, everyday stuff. You know, flicking off a light when you leave a room, saying no thanks to a plastic bag, deciding to walk instead of drive for that short trip. The whole goal is just to weave this kind of thinking into our daily lives, so it just becomes our new normal. So there you have it. 5 keys. Mastering your attention, embracing growth, defining your own success, nurturing friendships, and protecting our shared future. Look, you don't have to do it all at once. That's not the point. Just pick one. Which of these keys really speaks to you right here, right now? That's your starting point. Start there, today.